taken the Imagine Calgary vision and charter and targets very, very seriously in the Calgary Board of Education. And as a board, we've said that we want to ask our administration, and we have, to report to us on an annual basis as to what kind of progress we're making and what we're doing, how we're achieving these particular targets that Imagine Calgary has adopted. And a number of them have direct relevance to the Calgary Board of Education because we're an education world, of course, right? So for example, if we take the one of lifelong learning, and by 2036, 95% of Calgary youth will complete high school by age 21. Well, we've said completing high school is a #1 concern for the Calgary Board of Education. We want to take every step we can to address that particular issue. We want to report back to ourselves and to our community on how well we are doing to reach this particular target. And of course, we've had some good success in the last 2 or 3 years, moving the index up and seen a better result on our high school completion rates than we did in previous years. That's one example of taking a target that is part of the Imagine Calgary world and saying, here's the vision. We as a Calgary Board of Education are committed to achieve that vision. So we actually want to embed in our governance structure and in our monitoring structure how well we are doing to achieve that. So we said to our chief superintendent, you have executive limitations that we have given to you that you need to report to us on. And so one of the things you need to do is provide us with an annual monitoring report on how well we are doing to achieve these particular targets. And then we as a board will take a look at that monitoring report and decide whether or not we're making the kind of progress that we would like to make to achieving the targets. So we've actually embedded in our own governance and structure and decision process the targets for Imagine Calgary and a process for determining whether or not we're effective in starting to move towards achieving those targets. We as a board want to do our part to ensure that Calgary is a sustainable and livable community as we go forward. And we want our students to understand the importance of growing up in an environment in which they pay close attention to and are concerned about environmental sustainability and livability for the environment here in our particular city. We are a leader. We employ 10,000 people. We educate 100,000 students. We're one of Calgary's 5 largest employers. And it's important that a public organization like ours take a leadership role in ensuring that Imagine Calgary is going to be successful. And that's why our board has said that we will take one of our trustees and we will put them on the Imagine Calgary working groups so that we're embedded in that process. An organization like ours said right from the very beginning we want to participate in Imagine Calgary. So we had many of our employees and students partner with Imagine Calgary to fill out the original surveys and to say, yes, this is something that we think is important and we want to participate in. And playing that kind of leadership role, we can influence other organizations as well. But ultimately, it's about doing our part to make sure that Calgary is this wonderful, sustainable, and livable community as we go forward over the next 100 years. Well, there are certain core values that Imagine Calgary is all about, and I've mentioned some of them in terms of sustainability and livability. And all of us really need to work together to achieve this common vision for Calgary. Every organization can become a more effective organization. Every organization in the process of becoming more effective can actually make contributions to the sustainability of our city. So there's both sort of an individual corporate self-interest, but there's also a common good interest that all of us would want to embrace. And I would hope that there would be many organizations, hundreds, thousands of organizations in the Calgary world that would say, we want to do our part to make Calgary a sustainable and livable community into the future. And these targets provide us with sort of tracks to run on, to think about what could we do in the area of the environment? What could we do in this other particular area, whatever it might be. And there's all sorts of areas and targets that we can work on individually and collectively. So the more we work together, the more we say this is important, the more we take the challenge on, the greater the likelihood that Calgary is going to be the kind of place that people are going to want to come to, stay here, live, grow up, contribute to, and make the kind of city that we will all be proud of as we go forward.